Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Coffee here, and today we're back with a diamond paintings tips and tricks video. I'm going to give you 10 of my favorite tips and tricks when it comes to diamond painting, and hopefully won't ramble on too much like I'm doing now. So let's jump right into it with our first tip, your craft area. Now, your craft area is the space in which you will be diamond painting in. Now, can be a different space than, say, if you do other crafts that you do your other crafts in, because obviously you're not going to sit on a recliner and diamond paint. Some people might, not me. I like having a designated desk for my diamond paintings. And why is that? Because I can leave my diamond painting sit and nothing will bother it while it's sitting in that designated space, because it's only designated for diamond painting. So you want to make sure your diamond painting is free and clear of any liquids or anything that can fall on your diamond painting to ruin it, because it does have adhesive and you can get stuff stuck to it or what have you. So you don't want a bunch of papers and cups of water and stuff like that around your designated area, because it can ruin your kit. You also don't want to move it around a lot, because again, you don't want to run the risk of dropping your drills, mixing your drills by accident, losing drills on transport, damaging the adhesive or the canvas itself by laying it in something sticky or wet or what have you. So having a designated space just for your diamond paintings is going to be crucial, because it's going to keep your diamond painting safe and help ensure that you have a very enjoyable diamond painting experience. That also includes having a comfortable chair and having a designated spot where you can still view like a TV or what have you if you like to watch TV or listen to something when you're diamond painting. Having a nice area where it's just for you to be able to diamond paint and comfortably and enjoy your time while you're doing it. So that is my first tip, is to make sure you have a designated area free of clutter or anything of the sort. That leads me into my next tip, which is tools. Now, having great diamond painting tools doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy every tool that you see. There are so many different diamond pin sellers, diamond tray sellers, diamond storage solution sellers. You just need to find something that works right for you. So just because you see one creative with it and you think that you might enjoy it, and then you see another creative with something else that you think you might enjoy, save your money. Try to research as much as possible. Feel free to ask creatives what their favorite storage solutions are for when they're diamond painting, to get a feel for what you feel is going to be the best solution for you, okay? Because for some, it's baggies. For some, it's the Harbor Freight containers, or Elizabeth Ward, or Craft Mates lockables. There's tons of different storage solutions for your drills, whether it be for long term or while you're working on your project. But you don't want to go out and spend all this money just to use one of them. So you're going to want to find storage solutions and tools that are right for you. And that includes with wax and putties and trays and drill pins. So for me, my favorite things to use are, I like to use the Star Ore baggies. Now, I've showed this in previous videos before, and you've probably seen them before if you've seen me working on my diamond paintings on a whip and chat, which is where I sit down with you and kind of tell you about what's going on in the life of Miss Coffee and her family. They look like this. This is, I believe, is like a 6x9 inch baggie. So if you go on Amazon, look up Star Ore diamond painting baggies, and you have the different size options. I would choose 6x9, which I believe is what this is. It's going to have the 3 lines on it. Those 3 lines you're able to write. You can use a dry erase marker or a permanent marker, and you can write like the symbol, or you can place the sticker for the symbol up there. You can write the DMC code number there. You can write something else down here, like what project it is if you want to. You can write on these baggies, and it makes it really nice, because then when I'm done with it, I can put it in my long-term storage, and I don't have to worry about what drill goes where or what have you, or putting them in baggies when I'm done. So I like the ease of being able to use baggies. So my favorite storage solution is baggies, but yours might be Harbor Freight with the little containers, and that's okay, because this is my favorite, and not everything that's going to be my favorite is going to be your favorite as well. So I like using baggies. Another great tool is a diamond painting pen. Now, I know a lot of people are happy with the diamond painting pens that come in the toolkits, and that's great. I love that for you. But some other folks do suffer from hand cramps or arthritis in their hands where it makes it hard to diamond paint and enjoy their time because their hands start to hurt really bad. And I feel you on that. As you get older, your body breaks down and things start to hurt that shouldn't hurt. Either way, finding a great diamond painting pen is crucial because you're going to be doing this for a long time. You don't want to have to take breaks because your hand is swelling or starting to cramp up or your arthritis is set again. So my solution to that is buying a nice acrylic turned pen. Now these pens can be a little pricey. You can get some of the cheaper ones on Amazon, but if you're looking for a pen that's a little bit thicker to hold so that your hand doesn't cramp up from how little the pens are, I would highly suggest checking out places like Diamond Pen Pal over on Etsy or Enablers Outpost. They have a website for their diamond painting pens where you can get pens like this. This is a diamond painting pen that comes from Enablers Outpost. This is what they call a thicker than a Snicker pen. This is a pen that's super thick, which is nice to hold, especially if you can't hold small items for a long period of time, and it's wide enough that it doesn't feel like you're going to break it or anything, and it has a nice weight to it. Having a nice diamond painting pen is crucial, and not all of my pens are this big. So I also have this pen that comes in from Black Wolf Woodwork over on Etsy. James Clevenger is an amazing pen turner. He's actually the resident pen turner in my crafting group, Crafters Anonymous with Miss Coffee. He turns pens and shows you guys blanks in the group, and you guys can check out their Etsy account, and they sell beautiful pens like this. So having a good diamond painting pen is crucial because you don't want to make sure that your hands don't start bothering you while you're diamond painting. If you're happy with the pens that come in the toolkit, that is great. That is wonderful. Continue using it. But if you would like a different option, there are plenty of options out there. And these are two of my favorite options, which is coming from, again, Diamond Pen Pal and Black Wolf Woodworking. Then you have your wax and putty debate. Everyone has debated whether they like wax or putties. I personally like all of the wax and putties, but my favorite to use is either blue or purple wax. Now, again, you're seeing that Star Or name. Star Or makes great accessories if you can't tell. They're some of my favorites, and one of my favorites is this purple wax. Purple and blue wax seem to work best for me. I am what you would call a hard presser, so whenever I diamond paint, I tend to stab a little bit. And so because of that, a lot of waxes and putties don't work very long for me because they're not meant to be used in a way where you're putting a lot of pressure on them. Whereas the wax seems to work a little bit better for me. So if you're someone who presses a little bit harder than, like, I guess the average person, you're going to want to try some blue or purple wax. If it doesn't work out for you, try some putty, but find a wax that's really good for you. The next thing is a diamond painting tray. Now, again, a lot of people are happy with the little tray that comes with the diamond paintings, and that's great. Again, we love that for you. But some people like myself, I prefer a bigger tray. So to have a bigger tray, there are a lot of tray companies out there as well. There's many people in the community that have gotten creative and started companies selling diamond painting accessories, one of them being diamond painting trays. Now, this particular tray that I'm showing you today is coming to you from Firefly Diamond Painting Trays. This is their Switch Max. This is a very large tray with a little trash boat. So it does have a top that comes with it. It has a little trash boat here, which on the bottom of it, you can press right here, and it pops right out for when you need to empty the trash from your drills. And then you can place all of your drills in this bag. You don't have to place the entire bag in there. I can tell you that right now. You don't have to place the entire bag in there. But you can place as many as you want in there, shake it around, and then when you're ready to get done with that color, on the bottom here, there's this little thing here. Now, when I first unboxed this, it took me a little bit to figure out how in the world to use this tray because it is a little bit new for me. So what you do is you just slide out that little funnel, and then the funnel allows you to pour out your drills. I will give you a heads up before you pour them out, though. Put your top back on because, of course, with that wide open top, if you go to tilt it sideways, all your drills are going to fall out. So make sure you put your top back on it. Pull out your funnel, and then you can just tap your drill tray until you don't hear the drills coming out anymore. So having reliable and really good tools is going to be crucial for when you are diamond painting to help you have a more enjoyable diamond painting. The next tip I have is deciding which shape is going to be best fit for you. Now, diamond paintings come in a variety of different shapes, sizes, variations, and all the things. It can be a little confusing at first, but start yourself off simple with just a simple round or square. Now, if you're someone who likes a challenge to things, you like trying to figure things out, you're going to try to maybe possibly start with a square. If you're someone that just wants the ease of use, try a round. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be working with a round kit. Okay. So you're going to pick the shape of diamond that's right for you. So this is, oh yeah, coming in from Diamond Art Club. I had the pleasure of doing this as an unboxing for their sneak peek. And so I'm going to use this kit as my example whenever I'm showing you things. So this is a round kit. I have plenty of rounds and squares. I get asked often, very often, which do I prefer, round or square? Now, what I prefer might be different than what you prefer. If you are a seasoned diamond painter, please write down in the comments section to show others that are watching this video that everybody has a different favorite when it comes to drill shape. So if you like rounds, you're just going to write rounds. If you like squares, just write squares. Me personally, when I first started diamond painting, my first canvas was a square. I hated it. Not the square shape, but the canvas itself. It was horrible. But I loved squares. I loved the way squares looked and how it gave you more detail. So rounds will give you more sparkle. Squares will give you more detail and shimmer. They will shimmer, not sparkle, whereas rounds will sparkle just because of the way the shapes are, okay? So over the years, I've switched between liking to work on squares, liking to work on rounds. That's okay. That's a thing that happens to us all, where you might love working on squares or rounds. If you feel yourself getting a little burnt out of one shape, try switching to a different shape. We'll talk about that later on in the video. So for this is a round kit. So I've done tons of squares over the years. So I've decided that for the next few, however long, until I feel up to it, I'm going to work on rounds. And so picking a shape when you're first starting is very crucial because you're going to be working on this for quite some time, okay? I'm talking about like full-time job hours working on this. There's no quick way to get through it. You can't just sprinkle them on there and they'll just magically appear on there. It's going to take you some time. And depending on how fast or slow you work on the project, it's up to you. This is not a race. You do not have to speed through it. But you want to make sure you're having fun while you're doing it, because if it's stressing you out, then it's no longer fun for you and you're not going to want to do it. So you're going to want to make sure you're going to get a shape that's going to be more enjoyable. Now, my biggest thing is when I first come across a new diamond painter and they ask me what they should get, I always suggest rounds because they're so easy to do. With rounds, you literally just put them on the symbol and that's it. With squares, it's a little bit more difficult, and the reason I say that is because you're trying to line them up because of the shape of the drill. So typically I will tell new diamond painters, try a round, see how you like it. If you like it, try a few rounds, and then maybe when you're feeling a little bit more confident in your diamond painting skills, try a square. Kind of goes in with tools. It's one of the tools I didn't show, sectioning. Now, sectioning your diamond painting, especially when you're new, is very important because you don't want to get overwhelmed. When you look at a kit like this particular kit is a smaller kit. So it's a 42.6 by 50.7, or if you like working in inches, it's a 17-inch by 20-inch. So it's not massive, but a lot of these kits do come rather large, which can be overwhelming because you're looking at all those symbols and you're thinking of all the work you're going to have to put in to get this diamond painting done, and it could leave you in a state of shock. One of the tips I give people when they're overwhelmed by a canvas is to section off your canvas. That is where a couple of other tools come in. So you have washi tape. Now, a lot of companies have started adding washi tape to their toolkits so that you have a thing of washi tape for every tool or for every canvas that you have. It might not always match the canvas that you have, but you'll have washi tape. Now, with washi tape, there's a couple of ways you can do this. The first thing you're going to want to do, especially when you're just getting started, is I like to, when I use washi tape, I'm just going to fold that up like this. Now, this company, this is Diamond Art Club. This company has perforated release papers on their canvases. So what I mean by that is you can see this little line right here, right? If I just do that and move my finger up, they have it where their top cover already has perforations in it so that you can section off your diamond painting and work on it in small individual little sizes, right? Which is going to be a lot easier for you than, say, working on, say, like if you undid this entire bottom part of the diamond painting. So they already kind of have it sectioned off for you with their perforated papers, but they're the only company as of the making of this video that does that. Okay, so that's where your washi tape is going to come in. So again, I'm going to lift this up. And with your washi tape, what you're going to do, the first thing I tell people is you're going to put it at the bottom here. Now, this is going to ensure that those first couple of drills you put in at the bottom are going to stay nice and straight. And it also, because of sometimes when these are printed and the glue is put on, you will get a little bit of overlap with that glue. You're also covering up that little bit of overgap with the glue that you get sometimes with the diamond paintings. That's going to keep dirt and debris from getting in that area. Now, washi tape isn't the strongest thing in the world. So you can literally, like if you watch, I can just cut this with my finger, just like that. And that way, when you go to place those first couple of drills on the bottom area here, it's going to keep them straight so that you can essentially set yourself up for success for having straighter drills. Now, you can do that around the entire exterior of your canvas because the canvases, let's get you down here, will have that little bit of overlap. So you see that little bit of overlap right here, this white area here, this is adhesive. And so if you're wearing like a sweater or something, or you just have like pets like I do, and you don't want to get a bunch of fur or dirt in there, covering that up with the washi tape will ensure that that stays nice and clean. And will ensure that nothing gets in that area. So that's one of the ways you can use the washi tape, okay? You can also use it to section off your canvas, which I have a whole video on that, so I'm not going to go too far into that, where you just take the washi tape, you're going to place it on the clear cover on the top, and then use a pair of scissors and cut it that way. But again, with this company, theirs is already perforated, which makes it a little bit easier for you. If you have a company that doesn't have that perforated paper, you can get these things called release papers. Now, release papers come in a bunch of adorable little designs. Now, this is a small plug. These are my designs. I actually created these designs and worked with a company called Crafts with Crashly to make them into release papers for my followers. So you can purchase these over at craftswithcrashly.com on their website from the Caffeinated Collection. My art name is Caffeinated Doodler, so that's why you'll see the Caffeinated Collection. So these adorable release papers do come in a variety of different sizes. You can get them, which I believe this is like a quarter sheet. You can get half of them, like you can get a fourth of a quarter sheet where it's like this cut into fours or what have you, to make it the size that is workable for you. And what these do essentially is the same thing as sectioning off a diamond painting. So you would lift up the clear cover, and then you would place these down on your canvas to section off how much of the canvas you want to do at one time, or how much of it you want to see. Because a lot of the times with me, I get overwhelmed by seeing all the symbols, and I don't want to see the symbols. So what I will do is I will lift up my release paper here, or my cover paper. Put those drills on it to kind of hold it in place there. And then I will take my release papers and I will place them on the canvas so that I know that I'm only going to work in that one square. This also helps with when you are working, to help remind you to take breaks, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So sectioning off your diamond painting so that it's not as overwhelming. And now when I go to diamond paint, I'm just seeing this cute little design. I obviously know that there's symbols and stuff under there, but I'm not worried about them because out of sight, out of mind. Now I can work on this small section, get it completed before lifting up the next release paper. And the way I did it, where there's a line designated here for whenever you're starting this row here, so that you can diamond paint on this row, is going to make sure that, again, it stays nice and straight for you in this particular area. And of course you would have like washi tape on that side if you choose to use the washi tape for that. So using sectioning papers, or what we call them release papers, is another good tip for you for whenever you're first starting diamond painting, because again, it's going to take that getting overwhelmed by seeing the symbols right on out of your mind. The next big tip that I can give you is take breaks. Taking breaks is crucial when you're diamond painting because you do get lost in the diamond painting. Diamond painting can be very hypnotic. You get into the rhythm of working on your diamond painting while you're listening to something or watching something, and you don't realize that the next thing you know, you've been sitting there for 3.5 hours and you're like, where did the time go? I have stuff to do. So taking breaks is crucial, which is another good reason to section your diamond paintings. By sectioning your diamond paintings, whenever you're done with the section, get up, stretch, get some water, maybe get a snack, maybe go for a short little walk or something to get you up and active. Because a lot of folks end up staying very stationary when they're diamond painting, which can cause a lot of issues with your legs and swelling and your back having issues or your shoulders having issues from depending on how you're sitting or standing at your craft area. So making sure that like every time you complete a section, at least get up for at least 2 minutes, stretch out, move your arms around, move your legs around, get some water. Is a great time to give a great reminder to take meds or whatever you have to do. If you have a pet that needs to go on a walk, go on a short little walk just to give your hands a break, your eyes a little bit of a break, so until you come back into working on your kit again. But taking breaks is crucial because, again, you don't want to burn yourself out on the craft. You don't want to burn yourself out on your canvas too quickly, and you don't want to experience the body aches that can and will come if you decide to not take breaks. So taking breaks is my next big tip for you. My next tip is going to be have multiple whips. Now, this is something that I never thought I would say before because when I first started, was like, I'm only going to do one diamond painting at a time, and I will not buy or open up another diamond painting until I complete that one diamond painting. Now, there's a couple of things with this. One, having multiple diamond paintings, especially in different shapes, is going to give your eyes a break on the current color scheme and symbols that you're staring at to give your eyes a fresh new look on another diamond painting or something new. It keeps you from getting burnt out on your canvas or not enjoying it anymore because doing the same thing on the same canvas for a long, extended period of time can be a little bit of a downer. You can get diamond painting burnout from staring at the same canvas for a long time, and you start getting those feelings of, I'm not getting anywhere on this canvas, it's taking too long, it's taking forever. So having more than one whip, which is work in progress, is not a bad thing. It actually helps when it comes to feeling like you're not getting very far on your diamond painting, because then when you come back to the diamond painting, you'll realize just how far you had gotten. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be a serial starter like a lot of diamond painters, myself included, where you start up a bunch of diamond paintings but never complete any of them, and then you're in an endless cycle of staring at a bunch of whips that are incomplete. But having at least 2 diamond paintings on the go so that you can work on them is going to make sure that you have an enjoyable experience, because you're not staring at the same thing for time in and time out and for days and months and weeks and what have you. It gives your eyes a break. It gives you a break. It gives you a new something else to look forward to. So I would definitely say that having multiple whips, where I might not have thought about it in the beginning as being a good idea, is definitely a good idea. I can't tell you how good it is to look at my whips now and look at them and go, which one do I feel like doing today? Instead of, oh God, I have to work on that kit again today. So having multiple whips is not a bad thing. It's actually something that is going to help aid you in having a more enjoyable diamond painting experience. To be when you're diamond painting, right? I always tell people, it doesn't matter where you start, but it sometimes does, because it depends on you and how you like working on things. Now, I'm giving you these tips and tricks. These are not the be-all, end-all. You can take these and maneuver them however you want to fit whatever you're doing with your diamond painting. For me, the biggest tip that I have when it comes to diamond painting is, especially when you're working on a kit and you're just getting started, work from the hand that you're dominant with. So for me, I'm right-handed. Hello. So that means I'm going to work from the bottom right and go up or across or however. But I'm going to start from this side. Now, why do I start from this side? One, because I'm not having to lean over my diamond painting to work on the other side. Two, because when I complete this section and I start moving up, and I kind of work in a typewriter fashion, so I'll go right to left, then left to right, then right to left until I'm complete. The reason for this is so that if I do end up leaning on my diamond painting, all I'm doing is pressing my drills further down on the glue, which can help if you maybe didn't place some drills down hard enough or what have you. So I always tell people to try to work from the position, especially when you're just starting, from the hand that you're dominant. So if you're left-handed, you're going to start at the bottom left. If you're right-handed, you're going to start from the bottom right. And it also keeps you from having to reach across your canvas, because what happens if the plastic comes up and you don't realize it and you're leaning on the canvas and it's stuck to your shirt? Then now you have a spot on your canvas that's unsticky, which I would recommend using like a wet wipe or a paper towel or a napkin to dampen it and just kind of wipe the area, let it air dry, and it should regain its tacky. But who wants to go through all that? Nobody. So I always recommend that people start from the hand that they're dominant with and work their way over or up or however you would like to work it. But just work from the hand that you're dominant with. So I'm right-handed again, so I would start from the bottom right and work my way over. So that is the next tip that I have for you. Now, I don't know what number tip we're on. I've lost count. But don't worry, there'll be like little cards at the bottom or something. So the next tip I have for you is kitting up and kitting down. Now, what does that mean? Kitting up means putting your diamonds or your drills, if you will. You will hear me call them drills a lot. That's what we call the diamonds. Putting them in your storage solution. Whether you're using Craftmate lockables, whether you're using the little cylinder trays, whether you're using a Harbor Freight or your baggies, you never want to just, unless it's a small, like tiny kit, you never want to work right out of the bags. Why? Because you'll never get them back in there correctly. They're going to bounce all over the place, and it's just going to make a huge mess. So you want to make sure you have a nice storage solution. And again, if you watch my How to Diamond Paint video in the description box, there are a few. I'll try to remember to put some into the description box of this video for storage solutions. So having a good storage solution goes back to tools, making sure that you kit up your diamond paintings when you're starting so that you don't have to worry about fidgeting with cutting open bags or getting like one or two out of the bag or what have you, and you already have them in their little spot where they're going to be. It also keeps them safe from tiny hands and paws in case like a animal gets onto your desk and knocks over your bags. Then you don't have to worry about the bags opening. So I would definitely say my next tip is going to be make sure you're kitting up and kitting down. Kitting down is essentially doing a kit up in reverse. So you're taking the drills out of the bags or your storage solutions and putting them into either long-term storage or tossing them. There are a lot of great companies there's a lot of great Facebook groups online that have area for if you don't want to keep your drills and you would like to donate them to others. There are other people that might be short on drills that are looking for them, and you might be able to help them out by giving them some of your spare drills, which is one of the reasons why I like keeping them, besides the fact that it's very wasteful to throw out all those drills. So going to a Facebook group like Got Diamonds, I think there's Got Diamonds UK. There's a couple of different Facebook groups that you can go to donate your extra drills to people who might be in need or searching for them. So I would say making sure you're kitting down so that you have that storage solution available for your next kit. Kitting up so that you don't spill your drills, mix your drills, or anything of the sort, because one of the big things that you can do, especially if you have them still in the bags, is that you could possibly mix them up by not paying attention, whereas with the containers or your baggies or whatever, you're going to look for that actual symbol before you put them in there. Now, it will sometimes still happen that you might mix up colors, and that's okay. You just kind of pluck them out one by one until you get them all out. There's no easy solution for that, unfortunately. But kitting up and down is very crucial because it's going to make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing a little bit more, because you're going to be putting stuff in the correct baggie or the correct container, and then kitting down so that you have the storage solution available for you, so you don't have to keep buying storage solutions and wasting more money, which is something that none of us wants to do. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is diamond painting burnout. Now, I've mentioned diamond painting burnout a few times in this video and other videos before. Diamond painting burnout is just like any other burnout when it comes to things. When you do something for so long that it no longer seems enjoyable to you. This is something that does happen in the diamond painting community, and it happens quite often. And you will see people switch crafts when that happens. You will see people leave the craft altogether. Diamond painting burnout is just one of those things that happens. We get so lost in the sauce of diamond painting and all the fun that we're having that we don't take as many breaks as we should. We don't switch up our canvas like sizes, or you don't change up the subject matter or what have you, and you burn yourself out however you do it. I currently am going through a diamond painting burnout where I can and do still diamond paint. It's not the first thing I think of when I think of something enjoyable to do, because I've done it so much for so long without taking as many breaks as I should have, that I got burnt out on it, which means I don't want to do it. I don't. And you kind of start feeling and having buyer's remorse because you look at your stash of diamond paintings, if you have it, and you're like, but I have all these kits to finish, but I just don't want to. I just can't. Protecting your mental health should be your first priority always. And so it's okay to get burnt out and do another craft. A lot of us crafters are multi-craftual, meaning we do more than one craft. Me, myself, I cross-stitch, I do a lot of art, I love to crochet, I do a multitude of different things. The problem is I get hyper-focused on one until I just can't do it anymore, and then I jump to the next one, which is okay because I do eventually find my way back to the other crafts at some point. Now, diamond painting burnout is not a medical condition that is diagnosed by your therapist or anything. It's just a feeling you have towards your craft. So if you're finding yourself no longer enjoying it, that could be burnout. And that burnout can last anywhere from a few days to a few weeks to a few months to a few years. I know a lot of diamond painters that when I first started diamond painting, that currently right now are no longer diamond painting. They got burnout and then they just moved on to other crafts. And that's okay because there's always destashing sites if you want to essentially, get rid of your stash. If you don't feel like you're going to go back to the craft at any point in time and you want the space freed up in your home, you can destash your kits. You can give your kits away to those folks that maybe can't afford to have a bunch of kits. It's entirely up to you. I usually tell people give it at least 1 year. After 1 year's time, if you still don't want to diamond paint and you're having the urge to sell off your stash, that's a great time to go, okay, it's been a year. I still haven't gotten that drive to want to diamond paint. I think it's time to destash. I wouldn't make the harsh decision right away just because it could be like a week later and then all of a sudden you want to diamond paint, but you don't have any anymore. And now you have to go spend more money to buy more paintings, and it's a revolving door. So I would say burnout is a real thing. We've all been through it, especially if you've diamond painted for longer than a year. Switching up what craft you do. So maybe diamond paint during the day when the sun is nice and out in the sky and it's really easy to see. And then at night, finding something else to do like reading or cross-stitching or crocheting or knitting, just to give yourself a break from doing it 24/7, because you can and will burn yourself out on this craft. And if someone who is currently experiencing it, I can tell you, it's not fun. It's not fun to look at your craft that you once loved and enjoyed and feel nothing. So take breaks, please, please. And this is going to lead me up into my last tip for you, which is going to be take a deep breath and relax. This is supposed to be something that is enjoyable for you. This is supposed to be stress relieving. This is not supposed to cause you stress. If any part of this craft causes you stress, take a step back and look at that part of the craft that is causing you stress and reevaluate it and change it. Because again, crafting is supposed to be an enjoyable experience where you're essentially creating something beautiful and using your creativity to do so. But if you're not feeling creative and you don't want to do it and you're just, I have to get this done because I bought it and I don't want to waste the money and I have to get it done, it's not going to be enjoyable for you. If you make it something that's like a job, and most of us that have jobs, if you've worked your job for a long time, you have things about your job you like, you have things about your job you dislike. And so turning this into something that you do so often that it feels like work instead of an enjoyable experience, that's going to cause you to burn out. So I would just say relax. Take a deep breath, relax. That diamond painting is not going anywhere. You don't have to work on it every single day. That diamond painting is not going anywhere. You can take a break and take a few moments to go play with your kids or spend time with your spouse or do whatever it else adulting you have to do. Take a step back and relax. Your drill placement might not be perfect, and that's okay. There are people out there with multiple disabilities that will maybe possibly make it a little bit harder for them to place this tiny diamond on the canvas. You have to think round drills are 3.8 millimeters, where square drills are 3.5. If they're still the same size from when I first started diamond painting. So these are very small little items to be using all the time. And so to try to get them perfectly on your canvas can be stressful. It can be very hard on your eyes, your back, your just all in general. It can just be a bad experience. Taking a deep breath, relaxing, and realizing that it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And if it does, there are ways of doing that. You can get yourself a diamond painting ruler. Just make sure you watch the size because they do size them differently. You can section off your diamond painting. You can use like the release papers and stuff. There are ways of making your diamond painting as straight as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect. When you look at these from the correct distance, and when you turn off your light pad, you're going to notice that all those little imperfections that you could see before are no longer able to be seen. Because you're not supposed to be viewing these from with your nose stuffed into the diamonds. You're supposed to be at least a couple of inches away. I want to say it's like 6 to 8 inches away from it, so that you can see what it's actually going to look like. So relaxing when you're doing this and not making this something that stresses you out to the point where you don't want to do it and you experience that diamond painting burnout is going to be my last tip. Because a lot of diamond painters, even now that I watch and observe, get themselves into a point where they feel like they have to diamond paint because they bought the kit. And it's like, you bought the kit, it's not going anywhere. You don't buy groceries and then eat them all at once because, well, you bought the food so you have to eat it. No, you eat it at the times that you feel like eating it or that you're ready to eat it. You don't eat it all at once. So just like with buying groceries for your house, diamond painting is the same way. Just because you have 15 diamond paintings doesn't mean you have to work on them all at once or complete all of them immediately. Take your time. Just pan it out. Enjoy your time while you're there, because that is your, essentially, diamond painting or crafting in general is your time to relax, not stress out. This craft should not be stressful. And again, if it is, at any time, take a step back, take a deep breath, relax, and find out what is it about it that's stressing you out, and try to reevaluate that part of your diamond painting experience. But with that said, that's all the tips I have for you. I know, a lot. I'm sorry. Not really. But I hope this helps you to have a more enjoyable diamond painting experience. Thank you so much for watching, and if you got this far in the video, let me know what your first diamond painting is either going to be or what it was. I would love to hear your response to that. And also, again, if you're a seasoned diamond painter, don't forget to leave a comment letting me know whether your first kit was a round or your preferred kit is a round or a square. But with that said, I must now bid you adieu. I appreciate and thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind sharing this, reacting to it, liking, subscribing, all the YouTube things, press all the buttons. We love it when you do so here on YouTube. It helps the algorithm know that we're doing something right, and it helps our outreach for other creators or crafters like yourself that might be having some of the same questions that you have. So I appreciate you in advance for doing so. But with that said, I must now bid you adieu, but not for reminding you that it's hard out here in these crafty streets, y'all. Please stay safe and always remember to be kind to others, because you never know what somebody else is going through. Be courteous because it's the right thing to do, and always stay cool. And whether I see you in YouTube land or I see you on Twitch, either way, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, guys.